How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Crypto is falling. Bitcoin's falling right now. I want to go through why that is. We got some pretty interesting information in the last hour that's definitely going to affect the market for the weeks to come. This is affecting crypto. This is affecting the stock market. It might be a little bit confusing as well. We have tons of liquidations coming in the last 24 hours. And we also have news that we could get more liquidations here today, like a significant amount more. We have lots of options expiring. So if you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos like this. If you want to go to the Bitcoin conference, there's a link underneath the video. When you use my link, you get 10% off the original price. You have about 2 months left. They increase the prices as we get closer to the event, so definitely check it out. As you can see, Bitcoin falling down. Right? It was right at 87.5 yesterday. Just been up, down, lower highs, lower lows. But you can see we bounce right off of this trend line. Maybe a good time to be leverage trading in the market. Like I said, right at support is I like as a place to open trades, because if we go up, this is a pretty bullish scenario. But if we go down, you can also put a stop loss, and it's pretty easy to understand where you should put your stop loss. It should be just a little bit below this line, just in case we wick back down and then go back up. But yeah, I really like these kinds of setups, right? When we have this obvious line that everyone's watching, support, flip into resistance, flip back above, support, right? Typically a good time to be trading. There are links to BTCC, Blowfin. We'll talk more about that later, but let's take a look at this. We just got PCE data. PCE came in at expectations, but the core came in slightly above expectations. So PCE core was 0.4% versus the expectation of 0.3%. So year over year, PCE was at 2.5% and core PCE was at 2.8%. Again, this is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. So they'll be watching this to determine future rate cycle or rate hikes, rate cuts. What was so interesting, though, to investors is right when this was announced, the 10-year yield actually went down. And it was a pretty sizable move. So it went down, which kind of makes you think that this is a positive for the market. Typically, you would think that yields would go up if inflation came in higher than expected, because people would be pricing in future rate hikes. But I think there's more to the story here. I think people are seeing this, and while it is maybe higher than the expectations were from analysts, I think some people are just pricing in the worst case scenario. They were a little bit worried that it could come in even hotter than 2.8. And we also got personal income at the same time. So while personal income rose by 0.8% month over month, and the estimate was 0.4%, might be a little bit alarming for people looking at this thinking they're going to spend a lot. The fact is personal spending rose 0.4% versus the estimate of 0.5%. So personal spending actually lower than expected. And real personal spending rises 0.1% versus the estimate of 0.3%. Okay, so people are spending less. This is positive. It probably means that there's not going to be quite as much inflation moving forward. So I think this mixture made people not quite as worried and let rates come down. This is positive. This brings, makes it more likely that the Fed will be lowering rates in the future. This makes it more likely that we'll have lower mortgage rates, that we'll start seeing lower rates on everything. And that's what Trump wants. I think that's really what Jerome Powell wants too, but he's got his hands kind of tied. Like I said, if you do want to trade, there are links underneath the video to WEEX and to BTCC. They definitely have some different bonuses going on, like 800,000 USDT in this trading competition on WEEX, and a 10% deposit bonus on first-time deposits. Now, this dip in Bitcoin is actually before the PCE was announced. Actually came because of a lot of liquidations. We had $280 million worth of longs liquidated, $23 million worth of shorts liquidated. And I would not expect this to end. I think we could see some volatility today too, because we have 12.1 billion of Bitcoin options and $2.1 billion worth of Ethereum options expiring today. We also have, this was from before, but we had PCE come in. So yeah, be ready for some volatility throughout the day today. We're going to see a lot of options expiring, which could cause some people to try to force the market one way or the other, which could cause more liquidations as well. Ethereum, it's been a dog. We've been saying this for a long time. It just continuously falls down. It just fell today to a new low versus Bitcoin. This is the lowest point now that it's been since May of 2020. That is crazy. Almost 5 years. And it's been like straight down. Even if you look since a month ago, since February, it's down 25% versus Bitcoin. That's insane. My heart goes out to everyone that's heavy in Ethereum. Since the top, its Bitcoin valuation has gone down 75%. Wow. So it could go down a little bit further to get to the bottom of last cycle, to be clear. It could go down another 30%. So if you think it's done, yeah, maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll have to continue to watch. But yeah, this just continues to do horribly. Now, to be clear, like I can't see the future. This is one of my larger altcoin bags. Thing is, though, I have 80+% in Bitcoin of my crypto portfolio. 80% of it is in Bitcoin. So this really isn't bothering me too much, but at some point you wonder, when is it going to turn around? Is it going to turn around? Let me know down below in the comment section. Gold is doing well today. It's up about 0.6%. Year to date, up 15.4%. 1 year, up 38%. 5 years, up only 86%. But if we look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin over the last 1 year, still up about 21%, but actually underperforming gold at this point. But if we look at the 5 year, it's outperforming by over 10x, right? It's not even close. Bitcoin's done so well comparatively to just about everything over the last 10 years. The ETFs continue to buy too. We have a $97 million inflow for Fidelity, a $4 million inflow for IBIT. This is the 9th or 10th day in a row that they bought Bitcoin. They've been accumulating Bitcoin. Now, one company that said they're going to accumulate Bitcoin, GameStop, was down 25% yesterday. And I mentioned this in the video last night. They have $4.7 billion of cash, so about half of their market cap is cash now. They got heavily shorted over the last couple of days. There are reports of GameStop triggering short sale restrictions, or the SSR, for the rest of the day today and the entire trading day tomorrow, which is actually today because they published this yesterday. Short sellers cannot short GME. Okay, so the short interest went up like 400%, I think it was, which causes this restriction. I don't know if it gets sold off much more. It almost looks interesting because if they just bought Bitcoin, they might have a smaller discount rate than something like MSTR in the very near future. Now, MSTR, I'd rather have if they had the same premium, right? Let's say their Bitcoin versus their market cap was about the same. Let's say it was 50%, or their market cap versus their Bitcoin was 2x. I'd rather have MicroStrategy. I think that they're probably better stewards of money. I know that they're better stewards of money. I don't necessarily like everything that GameStop did up to this point, diluting shareholders, taking advantage of people. But, as a business, it's the logical thing to do if you're in a dying business to dilute when the price is up. So if they go down much further, let's say they go down another, let's say 50%, their cash would be about equivalent to their market cap. So might be a buy, especially if they start buying Bitcoin here soon. Now, Bitcoin's already bouncing a bit here at 84.5. Let me know what you think about the market underneath the video. I think it's exhausting some people, but for other people that have constant cash flow, they don't mind buying and dollar cost averaging over a longer time span. And it is very clear to see that there are many individuals, many companies that are allocating towards Bitcoin right now. So let me know your thoughts. Again, if you want to trade, there are links underneath, and I'll see you in the next one.